I'm gonna be real with you. You think you know why she's faking it. You probably jump straight to thinking it's something you're doing wrong, right? A failure in your technique, or that you're just not good enough. But the number one reason women fake it has almost nothing to do with your performance. It's about a deeply ingrained psychological instinct to protect your feelings. Recent surveys show that a staggering number of women, over half, with some studies showing numbers closer to 3 out of 4, have admitted to faking an orgasm. That is a crazy number of women. For years, men have been told this is a sign of their failure, a signal that you need to learn more moves, last longer, or become some other person in bed. But that's a fundamental misunderstanding of what's actually going on. In this video, I'm going to literally pull back the curtain on this problem. We'll uncover the core psychological reason she feels the need to pretend. And more importantly, I'm going to give you the practical tools to create a relationship where faking it becomes a thing of the past. Not because you learned some secret technique, but because you mastered the art of creating a genuine magnetic connection. Alright, let's start with the problem that most guys think they need to solve: performance. From a young age, you're bombarded with messages that your value in the bedroom is tied directly to your ability to make a woman finish. It's presented as the final boss, the proof that you're competent, and that puts an insane amount of pressure on you. When you're stuck in this performance mindset, every intimate moment becomes a test. You're not present. You're just in your head, running through a checklist. Is she enjoying this? Is this the right spot? Is she close? This anxiety, this constant need for validation, turns sex from an active connection into a goal you have to achieve. And here's the critical part. She feels that pressure. She can literally feel your anxiety. She knows that your sense of success, your self-worth even, is hanging on her reaction in that moment. It's crazy. This creates a feedback loop. Your anxiety to perform creates her anxiety to respond correctly. She sees your effort. She sees how focused you are. And she sees how much it means to you. And that's when a choice pops into her head. This is where it all gets twisted. Most men assume that if she's not genuinely getting there, it's a physical failure on their part. But the real issue is emotional and psychological. The very pressure you put on yourself creates the exact environment where she feels she can't be honest. Before we get to the number one reason, it's important to understand why this is such a destructive cycle. When a woman fakes it, it's not just a little white lie to be polite. I'm telling you, it's a crack in the foundation of your intimacy. On the surface, it seems like she's sparing your feelings, a kind act to say, yes, you did it, you won. But underneath, it creates this growing disconnect. It's insane. Every single time she fakes it, she's reinforcing a lie that stops you from learning what she actually desires. She's basically giving you a faulty map and then wondering why you can never find the treasure. And you think the map is perfect. You keep taking the same path, doing the same things, because you're being told it's working. This leads to frustration on both sides. You feel like you're doing everything right, but you might sense this subtle distance. She feels completely unheard and unseen. And eventually, she might start to resent that she has to pretend in the first place. This cycle just erodes trust. It prevents any real vulnerability. It keeps your intimacy shallow. Sex becomes a performance for both of you. You performing to hit a goal, and her performing to validate you. It's a lonely experience, shared in the same bed. This isn't just about bad sex. It's about a lack of genuine connection that spills into every other part of your relationship. Faking it is a symptom of a much deeper issue, a lack of emotional safety. So, what is the number one reason she fakes it? It's not because you're bad in bed. It's not your technique. The number one reason is because she is trying to protect you. Specifically, she's protecting your ego and your feelings from what she thinks would be a crushing blow. Research on a phenomenon called precarious manhood finds that both men and women know that masculinity is often seen as something you have to earn and can easily lose. And sexual performance is tied directly to this sense of manhood in our culture. Men are expected to be the competent ones, the virile ones, the ones who give the orgasm. Your partner is acutely aware of this. She knows that for so many guys, hearing "that didn't work for me" isn't just feedback. It feels like a deep, personal attack on their masculinity. In fact, one study found that up to 78% of women who fake it do so to protect their partner's feelings. They hold back because they are genuinely worried about hurting you. Think of it like this. Imagine you spent hours cooking an elaborate, difficult meal for your partner. You put all your effort into it, you present it with pride, and you're just anxiously waiting for her reaction. She takes a bite and it's just not good. Does she immediately say, "This is terrible, you failed"? Or is her first instinct to find something nice to say, to smile and say, "Thank you, honey, this is great"? Her instinct is to protect you from the hurt of that failure. Faking it is the emotional equivalent of that. She sees your effort, your focus, your hope. She doesn't want to be the one to deliver the news that it didn't work. So, she chooses the path that protects your feelings in the short term, even if it damages the intimacy in the long term. This isn't about her trying to deceive you. It's a misguided act of care. If this is starting to make sense to you, and you're ready to learn how to break this cycle for good, consider subscribing to the channel. We're all about building deeper connections, and what we're about to cover is the key to doing just that. You can't make her stop faking it, but you can create an environment where she no longer feels the need to. The goal isn't to become a detective trying to catch her. The goal is to make honesty feel safer and more rewarding for her than pretending ever could. This happens when you shift the entire focus from performance to connection. Here's how you do it. Step 1. Verbally take performance off the table. All right, step 1, and this one is so powerful, you're going to think I'm crazy. You have to explicitly tell her that her orgasm is not the goal and that your ego is not on the line. And you need to have this conversation outside of the bedroom, when you're not in a heated or vulnerable moment. You can say something like, "I've been thinking about our intimacy, and I want to be clear about something. Your pleasure is incredibly important to me, but I don't ever want you to feel pressured to perform or reach an orgasm for my sake. My enjoyment comes from our connection, from exploring together, not from hitting some kind of goal. I want this to be a space where you can be completely honest about what feels good and what doesn't, without ever worrying about hurting my feelings. Your honesty is the biggest turn-on for me. Saying this out loud is massive. First, it directly confronts her fear of hurting your ego. You're giving her explicit permission to be honest. Second, it reframes sex from a performance into a shared experience of discovery. Step 2. Redefine the win. If the win isn't her orgasm, what is it? The new win is connection. It's laughter. It's vulnerability. It's that feeling of being completely present with each other. It's her feeling safe enough to guide you. When you start celebrating those moments, the pressure just dissolves. Instead of asking, "Did you finish?" After sex, try asking questions that are dialed into your connection. For example, what was your favorite part of that? Was there a moment where you felt really connected to me? Is there anything you'd like to try more of next time? These questions shift the focus from a pass/fail outcome to a shared journey. They invite a real conversation, not just a yes or no. This practice builds trust like crazy and shows her you genuinely care about her experience, not just the finale. Step 3. Become a student of her body, not a master of technique. Men often approach sex with a toolbox of techniques they've learned. The problem is, they try to use the same tools for every job. Instead of being a technician, become a curious explorer. The best way to learn what she likes is to listen, not just with your ears, but with your hands and your eyes. Pay attention to her nonverbal cues. It's one of the most primal, unfiltered signs. When you try something new, does her breathing get deeper? Does she lean into your touch? Does her body relax or tense up? These are the real signals. When you notice something she seems to enjoy, acknowledge it without any pressure. Just say, "You seem to like this," in a curious, gentle tone. This confirms you're paying attention and gives her an easy opportunity to say, "Yes, that feels amazing," or "Actually, a little softer." This process of active listening makes her feel seen. You're showing her that her genuine pleasure is what you're truly fascinated by, and this, more than anything, will make her feel safe enough to be your guide. You're creating a pressure-free zone where intimacy doesn't have to lead to anything specific, but is instead focused on mutual enjoyment. Now I want to hear from you. This is a complex topic, and I know it brings up a lot. Have you ever felt that pressure to perform? What's one thing you can do this week to shift the focus from performance to connection in your relationship? Drop a comment below and tell me. Your story could literally help some other guy out there who is struggling with this. And if you found this video helpful, and you want to learn more secrets about attraction and confidence, smash that subscribe button for more content on building unshakable relationships. So look, the truth is, faking it was never about your failure. It was a symptom of this insane system that puts all the pressure of performance on you and all the pressure of validation on her. Breaking this cycle isn't about you becoming better in bed. It's about you becoming a safer partner. When you take performance off the table, when you redefine the win as connection, and when you become a curious student of her pleasure, you change the entire dynamic. You create a space where she doesn't need to protect you because she knows your self-worth isn't tied to her orgasm. She feels free to be honest, to guide you, to be vulnerable, and to share in a truly authentic experience. The result is not only that she stops faking it, but that you build an intimacy that is deeper and more passionate than you ever thought possible. You move from a place of pressure and performance to a place of play and presence. And I'm telling you, that is where the real magic happens.